Hello everyone, we are back with another math video and we are going to be learning about fractions again. So today we are going to understand the whole. So again, like always, I'll make myself smaller, put myself in the corner, and let's get started. Alright, so what we're going to start with is the solve and share. So let me go ahead and read that to you. Actually, let me make it a little bit bigger so that we can see it. Okay, so it says, Mrs. Garcia's third grade class is planting a flower garden and a vegetable garden. Draw a picture of the whole flower garden and the whole vegetable garden based on the parts shown. How did you decide what the whole of each garden looked like? Okay, so the first thing that we're going to work with is the flower garden, then we'll go on to the vegetable garden. So I'm going to zoom us in. It says that our this square of our flower garden is 1/3 of the flower garden. It wants us to draw the whole. Now, to find the whole, we are going to look at our denominator or our number underneath the line, and that is going to be our whole. So it says that the whole is 3. So since it is 3, I'm going to have to draw a shape that has 3 equal parts. So I'm going to go ahead and move that into the center so you can see it. All right, so this is our whole, and I know that it's a whole because my bottom number or my denominator says 3, and I have my 3 parts. So I have my 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. When I have 2 of the same number, my numerator and denominator are the same number, I know that I have accomplished my goal. So again, because this was 3, I put 3 parts, and my numerator and my denominator are the same, which equals 1 whole. So now we are going to do the same thing with the vegetable garden because that's what the directions want us to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my denominator or my bottom number, and the denominator of this vegetable garden is 4. So I know that my whole is going to be 4. So since I have 2 already here, I know that I'm going to have to draw 2 more. So let me do that for you. Alrighty, so here we go. I have drawn, to the best of my ability on the computer, the whole of the vegetable garden. So like I said, our denominator was 4, so that's going to be how many parts I need. So here you see I have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. So like I said, when you have the same number of parts or the same numerator as the whole, the denominator, so when the numerator and the denominator are the same, you have finished your whole. So we're going to go on to the next page and we're going to do a couple more examples. We will do another example like this, and then I'm also going to show you a number line example. All right, so here's our first example. We're going to do number 3. So what it wants us to do is to draw a picture and write a fraction to represent the whole. So our whole here, we're checking out our denominator and it says 8, and we're supposed to make this picture say 2/8. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, because this has the top says 2, the numerator says 2, I'm going to split this in half so that I have 2 here. So now I know that this is 2, and I'm going to need 8 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 8 of them. All right, so now that I have it drawn out, I will explain it to you. So I knew that since I made this box the 2/8, I knew that I was going to need 1 of each of these squares. So I made 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I know they don't look even, but we're just going to pretend that they're even. So what it wants me to do now is to tell or to check that it is a whole. So what I need to do is make sure that I have, since the denominator is 8, that my numerator and denominator are the same, 8/8. So because I counted 8 of these, then we are correct. So let me write that for you. So 8 was our whole. We have 8 here, so therefore we have 8/8, and we have done it correctly. So let's move on to the next example. All right, so we're checking out number 4. It wants us to draw and write a fraction to represent the whole. So we see here, we're looking at our denominator, we're checking it out. It says that it's 3, so our whole has to be 3. If I'm looking at my shape, I'm seeing that I only have 2. So to get to 3, I know that I'm going to have to add another triangle. So perfect. Now I'm checking out. I want 3, 1, 2, 3, and I have 3, 1, 2, 3. So the way that I'm going to write it is my whole, which is 1, equals 3 over 3. So my whole equals the 3 parts and the 3 that make the whole. So that is how I'm going to write it. And I'm going to show you next how to make one on a number line. So number 5, it says that we have 1 over 2. So just like the shapes, this part of the line is going to represent just like the shapes. So we see here that we are supposed to have 2, but we only have 1. So let's add another one. All right, so I went ahead. It's a little bit off because it wouldn't make it smaller, but we'll just pretend that it doesn't look like that. So I had my 1 part. We needed 2, so I have 1 over 2, and now I have 2 over 2. We see that our numerator and our denominator are the same, so we know that is correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it. Hold on, let me pause for a sec. So I wrote my answer, which is 1 equals 2 over 2, and that is how you represent the whole. Just like here, we had 1 equals 3 over 3. And if we were to do this one, we would say 1, let's redo it. We would say 1 equals 8 over 8, so that it looks the same as the other ones. And that is representing our whole. So let me make myself bigger. So I hope that made sense. We're going to have 2 videos for this day. So what I'm going to do is I will see you in the next video.